Welcome back to some more Umineko When They Cry. So, where we last left off, aside of seeing more Maria's backstory of where she took Sakutaro, a stuffed animal, to the convenience store of the sort, especially late at night, considering that, Rose is too busy with her work. So, not only that, there's Anji getting taught by Maria on how to concentrate on the magic in order to, you know, regain the friends to, you know, because Anji is always lonely. It's always important to she has to take one small step. So yeah, let's continue. I mustn't doubt. I believe. One-chan said she'd always be by my side. Yeah, Anji right now is more older, but because Maria already died, that's you know Maria is being the positive role model of the story, I guess. Always be by my side. I must not doubt that. But looking at that empty space by the empty back wall of the school building, amidst those almost heartlessly boring rays of sunlight, calling out her name was unexpectedly difficult. The chains of common sense that had clung to me until today sneered at me, telling me that calling out to the empty air was ridiculous. It was almost like being told to take a step forward off the roof of a skyscraper overlooking a sea of lights. It's Maria One-chan saying it. It's alright. She's saying that I'm someone who can do it. Stop thinking that you might fall, or that it'd be foolish to take a step off a roof. And free yourself from those chains of common sense. Common sense, you say? Phew. I steadied my breathing. I concentrated my mind. Make the vivid form of Maria One-chan in the empty space before you rise to the surface. Understand magic and see Maria One-chan.
Maria, お姉ちゃん。誰かいるの？
At that time, I was answered by a rustle in the bushes and a wild cry, and I came to my senses. It looked like I wasn't the only one behind the school building. No. Since I'd been so immersed in the world of the diary, I hadn't noticed someone coming. Uh-oh. Why am I getting the feeling that we're gonna get caught? I recognized a group of three beyond the bushes. They were kids from my class. From their appearance, it felt as though they'd come behind the school building to gossip about someone or talk in secret. I hurried out of that place. Because of it became known that I'd been alone in a place like this, mumbling to myself, it had become a pain again.
言ったよね。言ったよね。マリアお姉ちゃんとか言ったよね。やばくない？心霊とか見えちゃってんじゃないの？あれ。後ろ宮さんって面白い。
I could hear the shrill, loud laughter from behind. Irritated and feeling that Maria One-chan had been made fun of, I left that place at a quick pace and then a jog once I turned the corner. And I might have made it to One-chan's world with just a little more time. It was frustrating, aggravating. Why does everyone get in my way? Because you see here, it's not only kids being a piece of shit, it seems, I guess apparently everyone is a piece of shit. I haven't gotten in anyone else's way, not even once. I ran and ran, but it still felt as though I could hear their shrill laughter. What to do? The future 12 years later. The world 12 years later, October 1998. What's going on from there? Where are we at?
噂じゃ、エンジェちゃん。
Who is this middle-aged guy? Why am I getting the feeling that this is a bit sussy in a way? Ushiromiya Anji threw herself off the top of a skyscraper and miraculously survived unharmed. Her mystical experience led her to abandon everything and go on a personal journey to discover her past. Will she, positioned 12 years in the future, be able to break through Beatrice's magical power? And then there's Eva. After being repeatedly hospitalized from psychogenic stress, she is already dead in the world of 1998 due to acute heart failure. The only survivor from Rokujima, she lived her later years in isolation with no one to understand her. The media gave her the name Queen of Suspicion. Yep, gotta love the fucking mainstream media being pull this narrative. She continued on a path of reckless expansion like Kinzo had done in the past and made many enemies. In her later years, she seemed to do this repeatedly as if she found it funny, and at that point it was no longer for economic reasons, but simply to harass. And all of this was for the sake of Anji, who would eventually succeed her. Wow. Imagine taking it out on Anji. Ain't this some shit? So we got human side, which is like, 12 years in the past. This one. The witch side, which is, opposed to, and then we got Anji side. Oh, what do you got this time?
あんた、ビルのてっぺんから飛び降りたんだって？
Wait. So episode 3, Witch's Side was... So this one right here was before, Witch's 3 thing. Huh. Well, I guess I did.
追っかけがうざかったんで、ちょっと巻こうと思って。
Yeah. See, it's like I'm a fucking celebrity. Anji and an old gentleman wearing an expensive suit were alone in a massive modern conference room. All of the newest machines for presentations were installed there, but they didn't upset its refined and composed atmosphere. And that alone was enough to make business like me the room abundantly clear. However, that didn't matter at all to Anji. She carelessly sat on a high-class chair that executives making a salary of several 10 million yen probably sat in, looking aloof from the world.
下の方の階で改装工事してて、転落防止ネットがあるの知ってましたし。
Anji talked about it like it was no big deal, but in reality, it had been a quote-unquote miracle among miracles. To think that she'd shot through several layers of safety netting for the remodeling project, been caught in a multi-colored banner adorning the atrium and slipped off, only to be softly caught by a final banner, land on the ground without a scratch. And then briskly leave that place. They put Hong Kong movies to shame.
いくらネットがあるの知ってたったって、高さ200メートルの超高層だよ。
Surprising.
もしも思い通りにならなかったら、今頃大変なことになってただろうよ。
Maybe Anji is immortal. I don't know.
死んだら死んだで、それまでってことでもいいかなって思いまして。まあちょっとした運試しです。若気の至りってことで。
Youthful zeal. As though saying that she'd had enough of that topic, Anji shrugged coldly. Seeing that, the old gentleman who was looking at the world below through a crack in the blinds cackled.
運試しときたか。
I guess.
いやはや、やっぱり金蔵さんのお孫さんだね。うんぷてんぷ。天の流れに命を預けてもケロリとしてるその度胸。会長も博打に平気で命を懸けられる人だったが、これも後ろ宮の血なのかね。
The chairman was also a woman? Gee, I wonder who you're talking about.
やっぱりあんた、将来大物になるよ。悪いことは言わない。家出ごっこはこの辺で切り上げて、須磨寺の家に戻ったらどうだい？
お母さん、実家と仲が悪かったって聞いてます。
Sumadera family?
お葬式で初対面の人の家になんて行きたくないです。
The Sumaderas are Mom's family. They're an old family from Kyoto, and compared to Mom's frank attitude, unbelievably strict. The only Sumadera I'd been on good terms with was Grandpa, who was living apart from his family under the guise of retirement. Mom kept in touch with him too, but she avoided the rest of the family completely, almost hostilely so. And that's... I bet Ange is referring to Kairi. So when I went out to play with the Sumadera family, it was always Grandpa's house I visited. When I was young, I didn't really understand it, but I hear that Grandpa was in an extremely weak position as a man who'd moved into his wife's family register, and his relationship with Grandma was also bad. You might even say that Grandma hated him and confined him to the house. It isn't hard to imagine that because she had a soft spot for Grandpa alone. Mom was also hated by the Sumaderas. Since I was her daughter, they probably hated me quite a bit too. Her daughter? That's a really stupid way of hating her, because Ange has nothing to do with it. She's still a fucking kid. I mean, she's 18 years old, but still, in my opinion, I think it's really stupid. I couldn't imagine what if I have someone in my family. I can imagine if I had like one of the relatives that hate me. And yet they appeared for the first time at Mom's funeral, shamelessly going on about how big I got, like they could actually act like family after all this time. When Aunt Eva died, I would inherit all the wealth of the Ushiromiya family. If that wasn't what they were after, there's no way they would have been able to say such disgusting words.
まあ、一人ぼっちになっちまって、自暴自棄になりたいエンジェちゃんの気持ちもわからなくもないな。
自暴自棄とかじゃないです。小うるさいエヴァおばさんもやっとくたばったんで、久しぶりにのびのびと散歩してるだけじゃないですか。周りが大げさに騒ぎすぎなだけです。
Of course, everyone's after the vast Ushiromiya wealth I bear. They must think that becoming my guardian means they'll be able to do as they please with that wealth. Just how many people have tried to get close to me, acting like they want to be a substitute parent?
エンジェちゃんも辛いことがあったら、俺でよかったらいつでも相談してな。エンジェちゃんのこと、実の孫みたいに思ってるんだからさ。
I'm sorry, this is actually hella sus.
はあ。当面はノーサンキューということで。
No, thank you.
それより話を戻してください。
エンジェちゃん、何度聞かれたって俺が隠してることは何もないよ。あの日の六軒島の唯一の生き残りが会長なんだ。その会長が何も語らずに言っちまった。俺だって何もわからないよ。すべては闇の中だ。
I hate saying that word, but he sounds very sussy to me. This old gentleman was one of those leaders who had been entrusted with the business group Eva had built up after she passed away. The one he called chairman was the former chairman, Ushiromiya Eva. Yep, I figured. His company once had friendly ties with Hideyoshi's business, and he'd had a close relationship with both Hideyoshi and Eva. For that reason, when Eva lost Hideyoshi, he became the only person to whom Eva might have let her true intentions slip. Whenever Eva's heart was torn by the loss of her family, whenever she took it out on Ange, he had acted as a buffer between the two, so although Ange didn't trust him, she found him a very easy person to question. Yeah, I'm pretty sure with how Eva take Anji's you know, child away. I wouldn't be surprised if I grow an extent of not liking Eva. So, question.
あの事件は、いや、事故か。事件なんて言っちまったら怒られちまうな。そりゃ俺も世間やワイドショーと同じ程度の疑問は持ったさ。
And the talk shows.
どうしてエヴァおばさんは事故当時、屋敷から2キロも離れたところにたった一人で？
That's a good question.
それも嵐の晩に。
当時、金蔵さんは次の跡継ぎに誰を選ぶかで迷われていた。表向きは長男のクラウスさんってことになってたんだが、クラウスさんはあまり信頼されていなかったんだ。
それで親兄弟4人の中から公平に跡継ぎを決めるため、碑文の謎というゲームじみた試練を課した。
それは表向きだな。おそらく金蔵さんは初めからエヴァさんを当主跡継ぎにするつもりだったんだ。長男が跡継ぎだという自らのルールを撤回してでも、クラウスさんと違い非常に勤勉で優秀だったエヴァさんに家を任せたかったんだ。碑文の謎を解いた者に家督を引き継ぐなどという新ルールは、
It sure is a freak accident.
クラウスさんから次期当主の肩書きを奪うためだけの茶番だったんだろうな。
茶番ってどういう意味ですか？
Yeah, what is this farce?
あの碑文は誰にも解ける必要はなかったのさ。適当に刑事期間を経た後、本当に金蔵さんが後を継がせたかったエヴァさんを呼び出し、その答えを与えるだけでいい。
And give her the answer.
つまり、それこそが当主継承の証ってわけさ。
それはワイドショーでは言われていない話ですね。
まあ、当主継承がうんぬんなんて話をしたら余計陰謀説が優勢になっちゃうからね。俺もバカじゃないからさ。誤解を招くようなことはわざわざ口にしないよ。
This was his theory. At that time, the Ushiromiya family head, Kinzo, whose remaining life was announced to be short, was troubled by the problem who was to succeed him. Normally, the successor would be fixed as the oldest son, Kraus, whom Kinzo had chosen himself. But in his later years, Kinzo began to think that Eva would make a more fitting family head. However, Kinzo, who was stubborn even against himself, was stymied, or whatever you pronounce it, stymied by the title of successor that he'd already given to Kraus. I probably butchered that. And he'd searched for an official stance by which he could skip over Kraus and select Eva as his successor. That official stance was the riddle of the epitaph. The primary successor was still Kraus, but there was a new rule saying that if someone appeared who could solve the riddle, they would be chosen as the successor to the headship. Then, on what would probably be his final family conference, Kinzo told Eva the answer to that riddle himself. In short, it was the same as proclaiming that Eva herself was the successor.
エヴァさんはあの日、金蔵さんに呼ばれ、それを打ち明けられたんだ。そして、当主を引き継ぐため、当主だけが知る隠し館であるクワドリアンにエヴァさんを呼びつけたのだ。
クワドリアン。
で、一足早くその隠し館で待っていたエヴァおばさんは、そのおかげで事故の難を逃れた、と？エヴァおばさんが全ての財産を奪うために、事故を装ってみんなを殺し、自分だけ難を逃れただけかもしれない。
She survived at a hidden mansion? That sounds funny to me. I don't know. Seems a little silly for this kind of thing to be fabricated. You know. I guess that's Ange's statement in a way. I guess I could also say the same thing too, because I remember I said, like off recording, I thought it would be the statement I could say, but I don't know.
大衆紙はそう騒いでるな。
That's what the papers are shouting about.
だが、俺はエヴァさんを信じてるよ。信ずるに足るポイントがいくつかあると思ってる。
You say there are several points that justify trusting her.
例えば？
今エンジェちゃんが指に通してるその後ろ三宅投手の指輪だよ。その指輪は金蔵さんが特別に作らせた世界に一つしかない指輪だ。そして今エンジェちゃんが指にしているものは間違いなくそれだと作った細工師も認めてる。
Well, that ring is sure as a curse. The Ushiromiya family head's ring. That ring, with the heft of gold and the one-winged seal on it, had a diamond arranged on the pedestal and felt both sturdy and reminiscent of the dark hobbies of the rich. Kinzo had worn that on his finger without removing it, even for a moment. This man was saying that the fat Eva had proved that Kinzo had acknowledged her as the successor.
その指輪を確かにエヴァさんが持つからこそ。そして、実際にエヴァさんが優秀で、クラウスさんにはビジネスシーンでの数々の醜態が知られていたことを加味すると、エヴァさんの話は全くの作り話とは思えないんだ。
その指輪を奪うためにおじいさまを殺害した可能性だってあるけれど、そしてエヴァおばさんは何らかの細工をして事故に見せかけて一族を皆殺しにした。
そうだな。大衆紙は財産の独り占めが目当てで一族を皆殺しにしたなんて言ってるようだな。確かにエヴァさんはここ一番では随分思い切ったこともしちゃう人だよ。あるいは後宮家の財産を独り占めできるチャンスに生涯でただ一度の殺人を犯したかもしれない。だがね、俺はそうは思わない。
You don't think that happened? Surely there'd be further details than that.
そう信ずるに足るポイントの2つ目は？
エヴァさんのご家族だよ。秀吉さんにジョージ君。エンジェちゃんはにわかには信じがたいだろうけど、エヴァさんはあれでかなり家族を大事にする人だったんだ。
True, part of me didn't want to believe it or acknowledge it, but I did understand vaguely. Aunt Eva certainly had been a person who highly treasured her family. After all, the roots of her twisted personality had been nothing more than the sadness of losing her beloved husband and son. After getting hit with her angry outbursts as she tried to distract herself from that pain, I have no feelings of sympathy at all. But it's not like I can imagine how the incredible shock of losing her whole family must have changed her character. Well, it's what happens when you treasure family. I don't know. I feel like it's so hard to tell to whether you hate Eva for how she is, or you feel bad for Eva to where like she lost like Hideyoshi and George. I mean, keep in mind, George is a bit a boring character for like you know a young adult of like especially aka Battler, one of Battler's cousins, but holy shit, like 3 episodes in when it comes to George, I don't think he's ever painted as like the bad guy from what I remember. Hideyoshi, well, I feel like I guess he's like the king who will side with Eva no matter what. But I kind of maybe I can see why, but I don't know. Pretty debatable when it comes to Eva.
家族を愛したエヴァおばさんが夫と息子を見捨てるわけがないと？
そうだ。もし本当にエヴァさんが犯人で一族を事故に見せかけて皆殺しにしたならば、夫と息子が絶対に生き残ってるはずなんだ。
I'm pretty sure Eva would spare them considering they are part of family, but I have no idea if greed came to her head to the point that it prevented that outcome, prevented it, or because I'm pretty sure when it comes to money, like everyone has to fucking hog it by itself. There is no sharing is caring, right? When it comes to like fucking the wealthy, a competition within wealthy families.
偶然自分の家族だけが隠し館にいたとへりくつをこねてね。もし秀吉さんとジョージ君も無事だったなら、さすがの俺でもエヴァさんの陰謀を疑ったろうよ。俺は秀吉さんの葬儀で見せたエヴァさんのあの号泣を演技だなんて到底思えんね。
はあ、どっちも状況証拠的ですね。エヴァおばさんの潔白を物理的に示すには至らない。
それを言っちゃおしまいだよ。
You're stuck right away.
生き残ったのはエヴァさんのみ。その彼女がそれが真実だと言うんだからさ。
でも彼女の潔白は誰にも証明できない。
ああ、そうさ。そして彼女の犯行も誰にも証明できない。
No one can prove that she committed a crime either. Right, because she's already fucking dead. No words from Ange.
そして信ずるべきポイントの最後が警察だ。何しろ派手な事件だったからね。陰謀説を騒ぐ世論に後押しされて、警察が随分とエヴァさんを調べたはずさ。
Wouldn't Eva have like the power to like bribe the police? I'm pretty sure there's like I'm pretty sure rich people would do shit like that. It was easy to feel something unnatural about the claim that Eva had avoided the accident by coincidence, because she alone had escaped to a hidden mansion. Furthermore, at the time, Hideyoshi's company had been right in the middle of a takeover struggle, and in order to buy off the big stockholders, she wanted this large sum of cash. It shouldn't be too hard to find a motive there. But as a matter of fact, there had been nothing at all that implicated Eva as she went to the family conference. Nothing unnatural was found on her that could have been used to brutally murder her family and make it look like an accident. The servants who escaped harm by being off duty on that day also stated that they hadn't seen anything strange regarding anyone related to the event, Eva included. Putting all of that together, it can only be concluded that Ushiromiya Eva had headed to Hirokujima for a normal family conference without any change, and had encountered an accident.
警察があれだけ散々調べて事件性を見出すことができなかった。警察がそう断じた。それで六軒島疑惑は決着じゃないのかな。
それは単に警察は事件性を発見できなかったってだけの話じゃないんですか？
Couldn't find in bold, by the way.
それを言い出したらキリがないな。悪魔の証明になっちまうよ。
A devil's proof.
犯罪を暴くには証拠を見つければいい。でも無実を示すには何を見つけりゃいいんだい？消極的事実の証明は不可能だ。
エヴァおばさんが犯罪を犯したか否か、それを判断する材料が見つからないから、そのまま真相は迷宮入りということですね。
そうだな。エンジェちゃんの期待する言い方にするとそうなるな。エヴァさん自身にだって自分の無実は証明不能なのさ。あの島で不幸な事故があった。そしてたまたまエヴァさんが生き残った。しかもそれ以上のことは何もわからない。つまるところ、唯一の生存者であるエヴァさんの話を信じられるか否かってことになるわけさ。俺は信じたよ。指輪の話や彼女の尊敬できる家族愛、そして葬儀で見せた涙、それらを加味して考えて彼女の話を信じようと思ったんだ。
でも私は信じない。
You don't believe.
指輪なんて奪う気なら方法はいくらでもあるだろうし、家族仲が本当に良かったかなんて誰にもわからない。葬儀の涙が本物かなんて証明不能。
Pretty hard to tell if Eva is being genuine or a narcissist at heart.
というか、私はそもそもエヴァおばさんなんて大嫌い。だから私は彼女の話を信じようなんて思わない。
Well, at least Ange has a very good reason to hate Eva. The look on her angry face.
事件の真相をどう見るか。俺とエンジェちゃんで真っ向から対立しちまったな。俺たちに与えられてる情報は全く同じなのに、全く異なる見解も持っちまう。
It's like this is a debate between a teenager and a fucking older gentleman. Shit.
こういうこと、政治や経済でもよくあるんだ。同じ事業をやっても必ず評価は分かれちまう。どうしてかわかるかい？
I guess there are some bit of elements of dialogue or politics involved, but I'm pretty sure, like, with me as a reader, love to analyze and use a lot of very crude words with no filter to whether to say whether the character is a piece of shit or not. Do I know why?
いいえ、
Yeah, exactly. Like why?
愛があるかどうかさ。相手に愛を感じてるかどうかで、物の見え方は全く違うってことなんだ。好きな人が貧しい人に施しをすれば尊敬できるだろう。でも嫌いな奴が施しなんて始めたら、売名行為だとか、ばらまき行政だとか、非難合々さ。
Publicity stunt or that they're handing out favors? Huh.
何をしてもしなくても、愛があれば感謝し、愛がなければ非難する。それが世の中ってもんなんだ。
No matter what they do or don't do, you thank them if you have love and criticize them if you don't. That's how they. Huh. I guess he does have a point. Oh, I mean, let's look back at what he said. It's whether you feel love for someone or not completely change how you view. So, if I say like when it comes to like Rosa or Natsuki or like Eva, like through your example, I guess it depends. Here's the thing though. I don't really think I mean out of all three, I personally think Natsuki isn't that much. I feel like Natsuki is harsh, but I don't think she's that much of a bad guy like compared to the likes of Rosa and Eva of the sort. Kyrie, I don't know about Kyrie. I feel like Kyrie is a little bit too shady when it comes to like being Battler's stepmother. And plus, with Ange, Kyrie does. Ange is a. But what am I gonna say? Kyrie is Ange's real mother, so it's like a half sibling. But there's something strange when it comes to Kyrie. So with these 3 episodes, I was like, yeah, I guess I can change the perspective, but sometimes like within me, like I can't. Oh, my stubbornness would still have this certain mindset, you know. So whether I get angry or whether I get like put up in the stun lock, that it can happen. That's how the world works.
エヴァおばさんのことを信じられるか信じられないか。それだけの違いってことですか？
彼女を疑う人間には、彼女が何をしてもしなくても、それは実に不自然に見えるだろうさ。逆もしかり。俺はね、世の中には真実なんてものは、よっぽどのことがない限り、存在しないんじゃないかと思うね。いや、仮にもし、真実が存在したとしても、それを信じるか信じないかは、愛があるか否かで決められちまう。絶対性の宿らない真実なんて、真実と呼べるのかい？
You really call truth without uncertainty truth.
エヴァさんが物理的なアリバイを示したとしても、君はそれを信じられたかい？
It's hard to counter that. I hate Aunt Eva, so I'll probably deny any information beneficial to her. Yeah, you hate Aunt Eva from the very beginning because she fucking took every sense of your life of a kid away from you. So of course, whether you have a chance to avoid her, or you know, or you want to run away to start a new life, it's nice. I guess everything still comes back to you no matter what. And interpret any neutral information in a negative way. In other words, the truth is already decided inside me. So just what in the world is this quote-unquote truth that I'm still searching for, unsatisfied?
そういうことさ。つまり、俺から何を聞こうとも、エンジェちゃんがエヴァさんを未だ疑っている以上、何を聞いても今さら何も変わらないってことなのさ。
Nothing will change.
少なくとも、今のエンジェちゃんじゃ、仮に未知の新事実を掴んだとしても、真相に至ることはできんと思うね。
私では真相に至れませんか？
So I can't reach the truth? Is that what you're trying to say here?
だって、エンジェちゃんはどんな新情報や新証拠が見つかったって、エヴァさんが犯人だってスタンスは変えないんだろ？ならこれ以上何を調べたって意味はないじゃないか。君の中の真相はすでに決まっているわけさ。
The truth inside of you is already decided. Wow. No word. I have no words.
だがもし、
But, okay, go on.
エンジェちゃんがそれを真相と思わずに、さらに奥深くの本当の真相にたどり着きたいと願うなら、一個だけ方法があるよ。
If you wish to struggle further towards the deeper real truth, what's the single way then?
もう話したつもりなんだけどな。なんだかわかるかい？
愛ですか？よく意味がわからないです。
エンジェちゃんは今、エヴァさんを犯人だと仮定し、ものを考えている。でもそれじゃあ片目でものを見てるようなものなんだ。片目じゃどんなに目を凝らしても、ものを立体的に見ることはできないだろ？だから、もう一つ目がいるんだ。もちろん、今の目とは別の立場での。
エヴァおばさんが犯人ではない。あるいは本当に事故であるという仮定にも基づいて物事を見ろと。
Excuse me. Based on the supposition that Eve isn't the culprit, else. Hmm.
そうそう、その通り。物事を考えるときには、異なる立ち位置から見るようにするんだ。
To look at it from different perspectives.
そうじゃないと、本当のことは何もわからない。
You won't understand anything about what is real. Should always try to look at it from different perspectives, otherwise you won't understand about what's real or not.
新聞だってそうさ。
Wow, yeah, it is same with news.
一つの新聞だけじゃ、その記事を書いた記者の目線一つでしかものが見られない。
Yeah, because almost like over a high demographic that write for newspaper industries just want to make a fucking quick buck.
複数の新聞を読むことで初めて立体的かつ冷静に分析ができることもある。 愛がなければ真実は見えない。
Without love, the truth cannot be seen. See, I'm pretty sure I've heard that mentioned like somewhere in episode 2. And then even I had a comment section that was told like that. He said the same thing.
いいね
Bro, the way you say it. Like, come on, man. Maybe he thought it interesting that such a flashy phrase would pop out of his mouth. For a while, he laughed, looking pleased. At the same time, he was telling me that he'd said everything he knew, and that it was about time to leave. I understood that and got to my feet.
俺にもエンジェちゃんの気持ちが分かったよ。あんたが納得するようにしばらく好きにしたらいい。当時、君は6歳だった。わけがわからないうちに家族を失い、未だに心の整理がつかない気持ち、よくわかるんだ。
No words from Ange. She is processing a very hard time.
真相はわかるかもしれない。わからないかもしれない。エヴァさんは犯人かもしれないし、犠牲者かもしれない。
Could be both.
エンジェちゃんが信じる真実が見つけられるのを祈ってるよ。若いうちの旅も貴重な経験かもしれない。
ありがとうございます。お忙しいところ、お邪魔して本当にすみませんでした、おこのぎさん。
I'm truly sorry to be such a bother. And you're so, well, let's see his name. Okonogi Tetsuro. Interesting looking smile on his face. A major player in the Ushiromiya group. After Eva's death and until Ange succeeds the group, he and the other ministers are the ones managing it. However, since Ange has no desire to do so, the group is on the brink of internal discord, putting him in a difficult position as well. He was previously the president of a foodstuff distribution company and had a very close relationship with Hideyoshi's company. Because of that long-lasting association, Eva particularly trusted him and he was appointed to a significant post in the group. I don't know, man. He looks a bit too shady for my taste. I'm sorry. I mean, I guess some people would say that he looks kind of cool, but nowadays it's like I don't really. I mean, then again, this is the first time for me knowing this guy, so.
いいっていいって。これからどうするんだ？
What am I going to do? Well, that's a good question.
まあ適当に。事件関係者やその道の専門家ってやつに何人かアポを入れてるので、そちらを当たるつもりです。
Well, this is going to be a heck of an adventure, isn't it?
そうか。納得のいく答えが見つかるといいな。
Alright. I think this is a good time to end it from here. Holy moly. So, I guess what we learned today is that... let's look back. What do we got to know? Without love, a truth cannot be seen. So we get... You know what? Maybe we can be persistent and find the truth, no matter how difficult the climb of the mountain would be. So, next part. Let's continue more of this, the so-called present of the sword. With this might as well be called, Anji. This might as well what am I saying? This might as well be called episode 4. Anji being the real protagonist. But yeah, let's find our next part when I get the chance. Like, comment, and subscribe. And I'll see you guys later. Bye. Have a good one.